What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another stream. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day today. If you are hearing a bit of feedback due to my ring light, please let me know. I know for some reason this color tends to give off a weird sound. If you can't hear it, that would be ideal. Anyway, welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Preezy had to pin that comment. A little bit of a quote from the past. Stop being a YouTuber and be a trader. Funny. Had to pin it for the memes. Please, guys, just as a heads up, don't forget, of course, as you pile in, hit that like button if you appreciate this kind of content. Free streams where I pretty much answer any question and read all your comments. What it does directly tells YouTube that you're enjoying it, and then YouTube will put this stream in other people's recommended. And that really helps them find small channels like this. So I do appreciate it. All right. Now, as we get started, of course, I'm going to have my own technical analysis, and I'll provide you guys with some information on what I think. Technicals, reading the chart, looking at different patterns, and answering the question there. That is, the title, is crypto about to take off, or are we about to absolutely crash and plummet? But at the same time, what I would like to see is some questions in the chat from you guys. Let me know what you want to hear. Because really the goal of me going live instead of uploading just a pre-recorded video is to answer your questions. So, would love to hear from you all. Artful Doger says no tweet. So actually I did send out a tweet, went out a little bit ago here. It was right here, live at 5 p.m. It's about 30 minutes ago, and it had the link to the stream. So there I am. All right, so let's get started. So let me go ahead and just start off by saying, guys, here we are sitting here on Bitcoin at $50,670. Overall, this is a good sign because if you're bullish and if you're not a short bias trader here and you've been looking to go long, the thing that you're going to want to see is Bitcoin showing signs of strength and holding above support. The main support line that we had was at 50,000. 53,000 is the strongest one, but the main one that people really get concerned about is 50,000. And we mentioned this a couple days ago in the last stream. If we're sitting above 50,000, people are going to be a little hopeful. If we're sitting below 50,000, people are going to be a little fearful, wondering what's to come next, because there's not much further down. As you can see, just looking at these wicks here, and looking over to the left, there's not a whole lot of room, a lot of buffer here. Once you get down to about a lot of buffer before 43,000, there's just a little bit here, 48, 47. And once you really cross that line below 47 and even 45, once you're heading to 42, there's only one place to hold. And that is right here at 42,000. You can see the top here, the top here, the top here, the bottom. 42,000 is a key level of support. And once you drop below 42,000, you're kind of back into this bearish market here. Now, getting back down into this area, as some analysts have also said, could signify that this is now a double top and we could be doing some kind of bigger retracement. So that's not what anybody wants to see. We don't want to go under 42, break below 40, and end up in a 30 to 40 range. Instead, if we can avoid that situation altogether and stay above 50,000, everyone stays in a positive mindset. This is just a healthy pullback. We did dip a little low, but there was a big rejection wick, which means that now we can move on with our lives. We reclaimed support, and now we are going to just bounce, gain some bullish momentum, and break out to the top side and get back on track for the price target everybody's been looking forward to, which is about 100,000. So that's the two different scenarios. And with us sitting here at above 50,000, things are looking okay. I'm not going to say good or bad quite yet, but just to start things off, it's better than we'll take it. And as you can see, as we throw the daily time frame up here, it is actually sitting right above the 200 EMA, which is the secondary line of support. So that's also good. We're above 50,000 and we're above the 200 EMA. We are barely on the bullish side here. And we'll get back to this in a second. Let's read a couple more of your comments. Thanks for the heads up on the mic. I was able to mute it pretty quick. The Artful Doger has a couple questions. He says, what's the delay with the spot ETF? Has the infrastructure bill been passed yet? Any update on India? Do you think we'll see a stock market crash? Is Bitcoin now on its way up or one more dip? Always good questions. I appreciate you loading us up, and we will circle right back to those questions. What's going on, Shuba? Daniel, how you're doing? Thank you for showing your support, being a member of the channel, by the way, as well. Really do appreciate it. What's the future hold for Meta? Ooh, good question. Doge Scotland, how's it going? And what is, Shuba then asks, what's the real expectation of Bitcoin and Doge? 3 months, it's not 200K and $2. Good question, good question. Cool, so everybody's in here. Good stuff. Thank you all for hitting that like button too. Already getting some shares, that's great to see. So let's get started with the first question there from Artful Dozier, because aside from technical analysis, that actually starts us off with a pretty good thing to talk about. And it's another reason why there is some bearish sentiment here in the market. The Bitcoin ETF. All right, actually, hang on just 1 second. So, hey, what's going on, Sweezy? Thanks for the support, man. Welcome back to another stream. So the Bitcoin spot ETFs, there were a couple ETFs that have been filed, and for the longest time, we were just waiting on an update on whether or not the SEC would approve those ETFs. Now we know the beauty of ETFs and what they can bring, right? And I talked about this before and why it was such a big catalyst for Bitcoin. In case you're not really familiar, really institutional investors that aren't feeling too confident going directly into crypto, or that just typically stay in the stock market and don't really mess with the crypto market, having a Bitcoin ETF really provides access to trading Bitcoin-related price action in the stock market, where things are regulated, where it's safer, where it's easily accessible. When you go into the crypto market, there's no regulations really yet. So, I mean, there's no stock market halts. There's nothing. Like, you can get scammed, you can get rug pulled. It is really risky. But the stock market has been here for a while. It's heavily regulated. It's much safer, especially when you're playing with hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. You definitely are going to want your safeguards. So I do understand. And really, it just opens up the opportunity for institutional investors to dump some money in and invest into the whole Bitcoin idea without being exposed to the risks of the unregulated crypto market. That's just going to be a very quick synopsis or summary. All right. So everybody's been really, really bullish because we've had, everybody's taking Bitcoin seriously. We know it's become legal tender in different places, and it's being talked about as being accepted and taken seriously more and more recently. And so getting an ETF for crypto in the stock market would really signify, Bitcoin is serious now. The SEC's taking it serious. The government's taking it serious. Now there's an ETF in the stock market. Like, there's so many things that would signify. Unfortunately, and this is kind of contributing to some of the bearish pressure recently, unfortunately, the most recent ETF attempts have all gotten shot down. We know about a month ago they were trying for an ETF, right? But now, I mean, over the last 2 weeks, they were trying for 2 or 3 different spot ETFs trying to get those approved, and they've all gotten declined. So that's actually not a very good sign, all right? Because now it signifies the opposite, that the SEC, for some reason, does not trust having Bitcoin as an ETF in the stock market quite yet. Most of the reasoning is kind of due to uncertainty, unpredictability, and extreme high volatility and just overall risk. And they don't think it's ready yet for the stock market. So that's actually pretty problematic, and it's definitely going to make some people feel a little bearish on Bitcoin that we're getting really bullish, because it just signifies that as far as people really taking it serious, like the SEC, they still have some doubts, all right? And so then everybody else starts to doubt. So that's not very good. That is bearish news, and I think that is holding us back a little bit, because you got to remember there was a lot of things that contributed to this bullish run here, other than, of course, the obvious, which is Bitcoin, the way that it's structured, the way that it increases in price over time, supply, demand, all that good stuff, the halving events and whatnot. On top of that, there was Amazon rumors that got disproved. We had ETF rumors. We had all kinds of stuff. We had Elon Musk reaccepting Bitcoin very soon rumors. Everything got priced into this move up here. And then slowly, things have gotten shot down. So Bitcoin for Amazon got shut down. shot down. And then the ETFs recently have gotten shot down. Evergrande going under has become a thing again, and all kinds of negative news. So even though we were probably due for a bit of a pullback, it kind of accelerated the pullback here. So that's just one question. Infrastructure bill has passed. Yes, they did get that figured out. As expected, though, it didn't have a market crashing effect just because of the fact that they already made it very clear that the verbiage was a little off and they didn't plan to really enforce what they said. But still, like I said, it's bad news overall. So we did see a bit of a sell-off right after that got pushed. But that was probably the extent of it all. Unless they say anything else about the infrastructure bill and more about regulations, that's probably the extent of the sell-off. But we did see a pullback once that got pushed. Any update on India? Not actually. I don't have an update. We can check on that though. And is Bitcoin now on its way up, or is there one more dip? All right, let's save that one. Do I think that we'll see a stock market crash? Really, just depends on how this world finance news plays out here. There's a lot of speculation on what's going to happen. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers implying that the stock market will pull back. I haven't been investing in the stock market much this year. I've been more focused on crypto, so I haven't been looking too much. And really with the stock market, things are directly tied to like the value of the dollar bill and tapering, interest rates, all kinds of different stuff. Whereas crypto is kind of in its own space sometimes, really just focused on what the projects are doing and catalysts for the projects. It's a little separated, a little isolated. But the overall sentiment right now is that they do think the stock market will crash. And we'll see what effect that has on cryptocurrency. Sometimes it means that people sell off their stocks and then transfer funds into crypto. Or sometimes it means there's just an overall panic where people just sell everything. So it could have a negative effect on us. What's going on, Shuba, again? And Shuba says, what is the real expectation of Bitcoin and Doge 3 months out? Yeah, what Preezy said, they are not coming anytime soon. They did get declined. Let's see. What's the next Bitcoin resistance? Yeah, there was the one that got approved last month, but yeah, the recent spot ETFs got declined. So, I mean, that was good news last month, and then we've got bad news now. Daniel says, did the crypto exchange CEOs meet the U.S. government today? There's a lot of good questions. I think a lot of you also even have some news that I didn't catch on to. So if anyone knows the answer to each other's questions in the comments, feel free to answer. There is some things that I miss. But let's see. Let's take a look. It looks like they did have a meeting. One second. Yeah, it looks like some of the crypto CEOs did go ahead and testify in front of lawmakers here, just due to the threats of greater regulation on the market. Here you can see FTX's CEO right there. Looks like they did have a meeting, and basically the government's like, hey, we need to regulate, and these guys are like, well, you shouldn't be regulating out of fear. They're not against regulations, but regulating out of fear is where you start to see things go under. It's a pretty long article. I'm not going to read it all right now, but it does look like they successfully did have some kind of meeting. From what I glanced through, though, the outcome wasn't super certain yet, just was highlighting the discussion. RJ Gary says, it seems like Ethereum's going to take over Bitcoin. I would agree with you. There's a lot of speculation, and there's even a term now called the flippening. There's a lot of hype behind Ethereum potentially taking over Bitcoin one day. And when you think about it, I mean, Bitcoin is on a trajectory to the upside, but it's a very stable trajectory. If Ethereum can get enough hype behind it and really continue to progress, especially with the demand for it that there is right now, I don't doubt that Ethereum could flip and end up, whoa, punched my mic, ended up first place on CoinMarketCap. Because let's just take a look right now and see where everything sits, by the way. What I wanted to talk about that I forgot to talk about a couple days ago, guys, is that Dogecoin did fall out of the top 10. I don't know if you guys noticed. Don't know if you guys noticed, but this right now is the top 10 cryptocurrencies right here. You can see Bitcoin at number 1 at just under $1 trillion market cap. Ethereum sitting here at 500 million, or 500 billion rather, which is it's getting there. It's not even half of Bitcoin, so it's getting there. Binance Coin about 100, Tether, who cares? Solana at about 58. Solana is making a name for itself. This is good stuff. Cardano also at 46. USDC coin, whatever. XRP still at 40. Polkadot did creep up to 9th place. How impressive is that? And then we've got Terra here at 28. That's a new one. Terra was not up here for a long time, but not too long ago. If you just take a look at the chart here, look at it from the 1 month perspective, you can see that kind of out of nowhere just shot up from like $49 all the way up to like 70. And that was kind of enough to, or really from like 40 to 80. That was enough to get it up here and put it on everybody's radar. It says the Terra is a blockchain protocol that uses fiat-pegged stablecoins to power price-stable global payment systems. So it combines the price stability and wide adoption of fiat currencies with the censorship resistance of Bitcoin and offers fast and affordable settlements. So that's pretty interesting. Looks like some kind of a payment-focused platform. And like I said earlier, I really do think that coming into next year, going into 2022, it's going to be whoever is king of the blockchains and king of payments, retail-focused payments, and even corporate-focused payment systems. I really think that's what's going to take over next year. That's what I'd have most of my portfolio focused on, just as we're getting so far along in the crypto space here. Anyway, and you can see here that Dogecoin is now number 11th. It got pushed out. It's only sitting here at a $20 billion market cap. Pretty weak here. And Shib is sitting here at 13. Very close to the old Doge. So, not the most exciting thing ever. But at the same time, if you believe in the Dogecoin project and you're thinking about the long term here, or even the short to midterm, Elon Musk, Dogecoin for Tesla, Robinhood wallets, we've still got a couple catalysts left in here to see if anything happens before Doge can really be ruled out. Now, if we get Robinhood wallets and we get Dogecoin for Tesla and a couple other places, and then Dogecoin still doesn't budge, obviously at that point, might be time to move on. But the way things are looking, this should really set us up to see Dogecoin very high. If patterns continue to follow with announcements to price movement. Shuba had a good question. What's the real expectation for Bitcoin and Doge in 3 months? All right. Because it's probably not $200,000 Bitcoin, and it's also not going to be $2 on Doge. And you're right. So let's just put that into perspective. Right now, it is December the 8th, at least in the United States. And 3 months from now, January, February, March. So we're talking about somewhere near mid-March, early to mid-March. Where do we see Bitcoin and where do we see Dogecoin? Now, let me start with Dogecoin because that one's going to be a little bit easier. We know a couple things right now. Robinhood wallets are coming Q1 of 2022, which was confirmed directly from Robinhood, so we're going to have our hands on those by that time. Bitcoin should already have been brought back as a method of payment for Tesla, at the very least. And then Dogecoin should also be onboarded as a method of payment for Tesla, according to the leak of the development they've been doing on the payment website, where we did discover that Bitcoin and Dogecoin were the two methods of payment of crypto that you could use. So if we consider those catalysts all playing out the way that they look like they will, and that happening all by March, mid-March, I think Dogecoin can easily be anywhere from 70 cents to like $1.20 near its max. I think we might be at max Dogecoin hype around that time. And I think that Bitcoin can be anywhere from 100,000 to like 150,000. The thing is, if Bitcoin gets re-onboarded for Tesla, the bullish momentum, the bull market's going to kick back off. Because what we don't want to forget is what we don't want to forget is what really kicked off the bear market here, I guess you could say, or the steep pullback, and that was the removal of Bitcoin as a method of payment for Tesla. That's what kicked this pullback off. And similarly, good news would push us in the other direction. And I think we had a pullback here, a move up, pullback, move up, pullback. We're riding a really healthy trend here, bouncing off the 200 EMA, and that would just be a nice kick in the pants to move us up and continue the bull trend, the bullish momentum here. Everyone had price targets by the end of this month, 100K, by the end of the year, 100K. I think very easily, if we get Bitcoin back for Tesla, at least by March, we would be 100K and beyond. All right, so I'm saying like 100 to 150, and I'm thinking 70 cents to like $1.20, $1.25 Dogecoin, because I think if those things play out, Q1 of 2022 will actually be like peak hype for both of those things, and so we'll be kind of near our all-time highs for both. Now, let's play out scenario 2, because I can't predict the future, and obviously with those things, they're not set in stone. We haven't gotten confirmation for anything beyond Robinhood wallets. We don't know if Elon Musk will delay much longer. So if we only have Robinhood wallets, but we don't have anything for Tesla, and Doge and Bitcoin haven't gotten any major new announcements by then, I mean, we have to play out the rest of the scenarios that are here from a technical point of view, because we don't have any more fundamentals to go off of here. So there's two things that could happen. Either we're in a disgusting bear market here that we don't really want to talk about too much, or Bitcoin does a clean bounce off this 200 EMA here, and we could be at the last dip, and then we're sitting anywhere from like 80,000 to 100. The range is going to be a little lower because we don't have that kick in the pants from Tesla, but I still think if we bounce here and move back up, then we are going to start making new highs. And by the end of the year even, all right, so I'm thinking by December 31st, if we bounce off here and we start heading back up, by December 31st, we could be in the 80s. And that means that January, February, March is just more time to mess around here and see how high we can get. But at the same time, if Bitcoin plays out this head and shoulders here, and this is going to play out over like the next week or two here. That's why I hate to give future predictions, because it almost just sounds like I'm saying, well, it could go up or it could go down, and that's not very impressive, right? But unfortunately, it's the truth. We're at a moment of truth here. We're at a moment where Bitcoin has to decide, where all the buyers and sellers are going to decide how they're feeling, and it's going to cause price action to play out from there. So we've already had the move up to this 53K high, this pullback to 42, big move up after that, a pullback to 42, and now we're stalling out around that 51, 52K level. If we keep messing around right here, get back to like 43-ish, and then pull back down to support, that will be a head and shoulders that plays out. Everybody will see the negative pattern. And really the idea of the head and shoulders, by the way, it's not so much seeing a pattern and saying, oh, we're going to crash. The reason the head and shoulders is bearish is because of what it signifies. Like, we had a run up, we pulled back, we had another massive move up, and we pulled all the way back down to the initial support, which means we did not have enough bullish momentum to hold the price up after that. Like, everyone bought it up, and then everyone sold it all the way back down. And then at this dip again, we didn't even have enough momentum to reach the initial high right before that. That shows that there's a reversal of momentum. Like, we were climbing here, dun, 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 and now we're declining. Dun, dun, dun. So that's the idea behind this pattern. So when people see it play out, they're like, we lost strength. We're probably going to go down some more because we obviously can't support these highs. And so then people start to sell. That's why the head and shoulders is a negative reversal pattern. So basically, if we hit 53K here and pull back to 42, it's probably going to be a rough January and February, unless Elon Musk saves the day. That's the way I see it. And Elon Musk at any time can save the day. I think just like we saw some other patterns when we were looking here, we saw some bearish patterns forming and it looked like we were going down. Suddenly, all of a sudden, we got some really good news and everybody got excited and we broke those bearish patterns and we started rocketing up like crazy. So if we're heading down again and we get some timely news, that could break the pattern. But if we don't have any good news, we're just going to default to following the trajectory of the patterns here. And we could end up in the 30s or below. So very, very different projections here. We'll have to see how it plays out. It's bad news to new retail investors, but big money knew there's no spot ETF coming. I read about that long before it was denied. I see. Would you consider that a double bottom last night on the 5-minute chart? Let's take a look. 5-minute. Last night, let's see. Oh, you're probably talking about this here. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, we had the touch here. This is actually that classic reversal pattern that I was telling you guys about that happens so often, where you have the big sell-off and then you do the consolidation. It kind of forms like the bottom of a cup where it rounds out. You could see tight price action widens, hits a peak bottom, and then it tightens again, and then it moves right back up to the level it came from. That's that really classic reversal pattern that happens all the time. It happened right here. It happened right here. And long term, it kind of happened just right here. It happens all the time. And I'm always keeping an eye out for that reversal pattern. You usually see a steep sell-off, then it just holds, trades sideways really strong, and then it starts to creep back up, and then it breaks out to the upside again. Yeah, you could say there's a double bottom there, a bit of one. It wasn't super clean, but sure. So many comments. Good stuff, guys. Thanks for asking all these questions. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Let's see how many more people we can get in here. Lots of people with lots of questions. I'd love to answer what I can and look up what I don't know. So, good stuff here. John Tremblay says Bitcoin ETF is down 25% in the last month. Well, that's not good. At 22.55. Oh, yeah. I think that's what we just looked at. Right in there. Let's see. How long will Bitcoin remain dominant? That's a great question. I think really the main threat to Bitcoin's dominance is Ethereum. And I think I'll be honest, I think they're going to keep going back and forth. I mean, there could be a point where Ethereum dominance creeps up, I think early to mid next year, especially if there is Ethereum 2 hype. Because keep in mind right now, Bitcoin's at 51,000, which isn't very low. And it's at about 900 million market cap. Ethereum is only sitting here at 3,000 to 4,000, and it's at 500 billion. I meant billion, 900 billion. Ethereum sitting here at 3,000 to 4,000, and it's at about 525 billion market cap. That's over halfway towards Bitcoin right now. It only needs to increase in price about 40. What's the math there? About an 80% increase. Not even double, and it'll be past Bitcoin. So that tells us that by the time that if Bitcoin sat where it is right now and didn't move, if Ethereum hit about 8,000 right now, it would be like $1 trillion market cap, and it would have passed Bitcoin. It would have flipped it. That's not going to take very much to do. Ethereum sitting here right now at this high valuation, not even being in its final form. And we know that the speculation is that ETH2 will come next year, and that ETH2 is really going to change the game. We're getting the move from proof of work to proof of stake. So many things change from that. I mean, then we get all the layer 2 pluses that are coming along, which, I mean, we're going to see insane increases in transactions per second, all these different built-in layer 2 solutions that are going to combine some of the functionality of other platforms. Like if you go and you look at some of these coins here, like Polygon, Matic, and some of these other things here, these like DeFi programs that run on top of the Ethereum smart chain, blockchain, to provide layer 2 solutions, to make it faster, to let you kind of go onto another avenue to get around fees and transaction congestion and all that stuff. Ethereum's going to have that built in to the next update. All of these different programs built in. So, I mean, imagine what the valuation of this project will become at that point. I've always said that I think Ethereum will be like $12,000 to $15,000 by mid next year, by the end of Q2 2022. And where would that put the market cap? That's about 3x. That would be 1.5 trillion on Ethereum. So unless Bitcoin goes up to about 75 to 80,000 by that time, which it probably will, if Bitcoin stalls out for whatever reason, I mean, there you're going to see Ethereum worth more than Bitcoin. But like I said, I think these two will be going at it, and there will constantly be the conversation around one flipping the other, because Ethereum will have its big move up, but Bitcoin is just a steady gainer. We've seen it before. We're going to see it again. I think by that time, Bitcoin will probably be like near 150, 200 by mid next year. So if that's the case, Ethereum won't be able to catch it, but it'll be interesting to watch. Yep. Dollar-ish to 120 and 100 to 150. Yep, that's my guesses. We'll see how it plays out. Do I think it will kick off when the first part of the bull run kicked off, which was January 2022? I really do. I really do, if I'm being honest. I think we are getting just so close here to where it could be like any day now that we start getting this news from Tesla, and I just feel like everybody's waiting on that to feel comfortable buying in, because we saw what it did when we got that news taken away from us, and we know what it's probably going to do if we get the reverse happen again. And we saw what it did in the past when Bitcoin first got accepted as a method of payment for Tesla. That really kicked off a big move up. And it's just bound to happen again. And then we see the same thing for Dogecoin. And whether or not the other one's moving very much, I mean, if Dogecoin doesn't move very much on its own, Bitcoin is going to be moving like crazy, and then Bitcoin's going to pull Dogecoin up. Everything's going to be flourishing, and Bitcoin will pull Ethereum up, and everybody's going to get bullish on the whole crypto market. It's just going to be a good time. So I would definitely say come like mid-January and beyond, I'm bullish on crypto. I'm just a little concerned about this month here. And that's a good thing, because that means we might have one last chance here to buy a dip. If we did not already see the bottom here at 42, we might have one more chance at it. But, and I know I keep saying but, like there's always a but, still consider this. Dogecoin's still really cheap. So if you don't have a position in Dogecoin that you really wanted, here we are, Dogecoin under 19 cents, under 18 cents. It's at that 16 to 17 cent buyish range I was talking about. So I would definitely consider getting some here if you believe in the project and really think it's going to take off pretty soon. Get some here, wait it out, see if it gets a little lower. Maybe buy some at 13 if we get that pullback. If things go crazy and we get a massive market crash, look for like a 9 or 10 cent dip, load up there, and then wait for next year to come, because in a couple months I think we're going to see some massive gains. Let's see. We might take another dip before Doge 1 mission, but the moon is coming soon. Yeah, I think that would line up perfectly with what I was expecting too. Thanks for the comment, David Sereno. Good to see you. Long term. What's going on, James? So many questions. I'm trying to make sure I hit all of them. So I know I answered Shuba's question. Tesla analysis. Yes, let's go look at Tesla. Sorry if I'm being a little loud, guys. I have these earbuds in, so I can't really hear myself talking. Tesla analysis. Ooh. So Tesla had a massive bullish run here, guys. As you can see, it's kind of looking like a Bitcoin run here. I mean, from 2019 onward, it's just been parabolic. First, the move up from 41 to 230, pull back to 60, which is kind of the scenario that I'm talking about we could potentially see here with Bitcoin. If we get the pullback below 42,000 on Bitcoin, we could end up seeing this. You know, we come from the bottom, we see this massive bull run, everybody gets super hyped, but you see this right here, how we had the first big bull run. The second move up gets everybody excited too. They think it's going to continue, but then there's the big sell-off all the way nearly back down to where we came from. But then the bullish hype kicks back in and you see the big continuation onward. That's kind of the bearish scenario that I have in mind for Bitcoin here. That could actually play out, which means we'll get a chance to buy some pretty deep dips here. But then, I mean, strap in. Last chance for everybody's going to know what the potential is. We could be at 10, 20,000. Everyone knows we've already hit 70. They're going to load up, and then it's no looking back. We'll see if that happens. I'm not too confident that it will happen, to be honest, but it could. But anyway, just really a continuous bull run here from Tesla over the last 2 years. And now we're sitting at some really high extended pricing here. As you can see, we're on the daily time frame, which is the most conservative time frame. And we are still, I mean, we're well above that as well. Let's see here. The 4-hour time frame. I like what I see from the 4-hour, which is usually the one I look at anywhere for longer term investments. The reason being is the 200 EMA, which is like the best indicator of area of value that you can find. We are sitting right above it. Looks like the 200 EMA is at about 1,030, and we're sitting at 1,060. So if I was looking for a buy somewhere in this area, I feel pretty good about it. I just don't know. I feel like Tesla, I mean, there's been such a run here. And on the daily, we are extended even beyond the 50 EMA here. There could be some sort of pullback here to like 900 or 800 here. I would feel a little uncomfortable buying Tesla right now, which I did say that about a month ago, though. I didn't genuinely think that Tesla would go much above like 1150 without some sort of pullback. And I still feel like there could be a pullback. I really am against shorting Tesla or being short biased, but I do think there could be a pullback here. So. Who are Doge's competitors now or in the future? Well, Preezy first, before that said, and I didn't miss your comment there, Saul. I'll get right back to you. Preezy said, I finally moved out of Doge temporarily and put more money into ADA for now. Well, that's a good buy, actually, because ADA is super cheap. So I don't blame you for that, to be honest. And let's just take a look at ADA, guys. As you can see here, it's right there at the bottom of that dip zone yet again. I'm a little concerned about this here, though. I kind of like to stay in that box, but we're getting into buy ADA dirt cheap again prices here. On the bottom half of $1, like for sure. Anything under 150, and I'm feeling really good about a buy there. So I know, especially if everything continues to play out for ADA, I mean, it's in kind of a weak spot right now because not only did most of the hype already come and go, smart contracts are technically already live, and now people are just developing them, getting them ready. But the next big update isn't until like a year from now when they get the, what's it called? Hydra, their layer 2 solution that will actually make Cardano perform and be a real Ethereum competitor. That's not coming until like a year from now. So that means there's a lot of time for people to take their money out and go and invest into other projects that could be a little more lucrative short term. And that means that the price will go down while they sell their positions. But that means if you're shopping around for discounts, the price is going down, you can go pick it up. Pick it up at the dip while everyone else isn't looking. That's the way to do it. So good buy there on ADA. I respect that for sure. And we already know, I mean, we just came from 310. So buying now, you pretty much 3x if we just get back to previous highs. So it's pretty good. Who are Doge's competitors now and in the future? That's a really good question. And I'm trying not to over explain all my answers, but I do have some unconventional, I guess, reasons for why I believe some of the things that I do. Right, so in my opinion, when it comes to Dogecoin, there are some competitors that are already out there. But the main thing that Dogecoin is that we have to keep in mind, Dogecoin is a retail-focused coin. In order to really take over and be a retail-focused coin that doesn't do anything special except be a store of value, you really have to get people on board to believe in the project. People that want to use it, people that want to use it to store their money, people that want to use it to send to other people as payment. Because you can have a coin, because, I mean, there's no other utility. So if we're using another project that nobody cares about, I mean, there's some people that might not want to accept, let's just make up a name, CRM token. They might not want it in exchange for giving you something. If you mow my lawn, you might not want me to pay you in 2,000 CRD token. You might not want that. You might not believe in it. Dogecoin, the advantage that Dogecoin has as a retail-focused coin is that it already has a massive, massive, massive community and following where everyone accepts that Dogecoin does have some value. It is not just a meme coin. It is not going to be 17, 18 cents now and in a couple months be worth 2 cents because everyone forgot about it. It was just a joke. It was a pump and dump. Like Dogecoin actually has some use and people surrounding the project that really support it, that believe in it, that are spreading awareness. And yeah, I mean, we've even got Elon Musk supporting it, companies accepting us as payment. Like, we've gotten pretty far. Other coins in the space don't have that advantage. I mean, there are some other retail-focused tokens, but they don't have the advantage of the community and all of that. So it's just a little bit different. Now, one of the main competition coins that compete with Dogecoin is honestly going to be XRP, because XRP is really just another coin that's focused on storing money and moving it very quickly and very cheap. So, I mean, XRP, it says it was created by Ripple to be a speedy, less costly, and more scalable alternative to both other digital assets and existing monetary payment platforms. So it's direct competition to Dogecoin. The only thing is, XRP's angle is to be more of a corporate focused, like, back end payment system than it is to be the everyday retail person. Like, you tell your grandma, you tell your ma, you tell your siblings, hey, send me some XRP, or to use XRP. That's more Dogecoin's thing. XRP is more for, like, banks, corporations doing hundreds or thousands of transactions per day and trying to capitalize on the cheapest fees possible. Now, it could pivot into being somewhat of a retail focused coin as well, and I'm sure it will be used by some retail persons as well, but it just doesn't have that. That's not the market is trying to attack. So XRP is like Dogecoin for business, in my opinion, and Dogecoin is the coin for everyone. Now, there are just a couple other projects out there that are relatively similar to Dogecoin in that it's really just a store of value. What we have here is Stellar, or XLM, and here's the description here. It says, put simply, Stellar is an open network that allows money to be moved and stored. One of its goals was boosting financial inclusion by reaching the world's unbanked, but soon afterwards its priority shifted to helping financial firms connect with one another through blockchain technology. Then you've got the Lumen token that actually serves as that bridge, makes it less expensive to trade assets across borders. All of this aims to challenge existing payment providers who often charge high fees for similar services. So XLM is actually another competitor in Dogecoin's retail or payment focused space, but it's a little bit more complicated, and again, it's targeting more like corporations. It's a little more corporation or financial institution focused, whereas Dogecoin is just the casual store of value for the everyday person. So there are some competitors already out here, but Dogecoin is really in a space of its own. Shiba Inu, people love to say, is a competitor for Dogecoin, but like I said in the last stream, there is nothing about Shib that is at all relevant to what Dogecoin is trying to attack, in the same way that Dogecoin has nothing to do with Shiba Inu. The only similarities is that they're both named after a dog, and they both are in competition with each other for attention. But Dogecoin is literally a no additional utility, retail-focused coin that is very good at being that. It's cheap, it's fast, it's Dogecoin. Everybody knows what Dogecoin is. That's it. Shib is one of the leading tokens, because there are multiple now. There's Shib, Leash, Bone, for the decentralized exchange known as ShibaSwap, and they're doing a whole lot of different things with ShibaSwap, making it cool, making, blockchain and all NFTs, all this different stuff. But it is completely unrelated to Dogecoin, in the same way that Dogecoin has nothing to do with Ethereum, Dogecoin is not Bitcoin, and Dogecoin is not Uniswap. You wouldn't compare those either. So same thing. And while you could use Shib to pay people, you could use it to pay in store if someone accepted it. It runs on Ethereum's blockchain, which means gas fees are going to make that very unreasonable. So it's not even in the same discussion. Let's see. Are we in a bear market or bull market right now? So we are literally at the deciding point right now of whether or not we're in a bear or bull market. If Bitcoin does not break above 53,000 again, short term, it starts heading down, and we start seeing, I don't know if you guys can see this pretty well. Maybe I'll change the color. If you see this here, if Bitcoin plays this out where it kind of hits 53,000 here and it doesn't break above and it just keeps showing weakness and then heads back down, it's going to be confirmation that we could be in a bear market, especially if we break under 42 and 40,000. We're going to be playing out the bear market angle. But if over this next couple days we can instead hold our ground here above 50,000 and break above 53, we are most likely most likely continuing the bull market. So as of this moment, we don't know, but just keep an eye out for 53,000 and 42,000. We need to see which way we go. Thanks for the question, Trix. Brevin says, since May, I hold Doge now minus 60%. Doge all depends on Elon. Tesla, Doge one are all about Elon. I cannot trust Elon anymore. It's definitely a waiting game for sure. So I understand, but I think with a little more patience, maybe just another month, that we will be there. That's just my honest opinion. But I do understand if you're feeling a little down about it, because minus 60% is minus 60%. But I do think, we've seen Elon Musk on Twitter. Just in case you guys haven't seen it recently, I'll go ahead and just show you. Let's pull up Elon Musk's Twitter here. And I want to find this tweet. Is it not going to load anything else? All right, I guess because of the sheer volume of his tweets here, it's not showing me his tweet there, but Elon Musk did mention Dogecoin a couple days ago when people were talking about the excessive gas fees and current scalability issues directly related to Ethereum. And he commented and said Doge, as if Doge was the solution to those problems, being that it's way cheaper, you don't have to worry about the network congestion and all of that good stuff. So, he's still active in the community. He still has his financial advisor on the board for Dogecoin improvement, and we did see confirmation that on Tesla's website, when you went to check out, in the code, the HTML backend code for the website, you were able to see that they were coding the options for Bitcoin and another coin that was labeled as Shiba, I believe, to be accepted as a method of payment. People did some more digging into that Shiba one, and we saw that it was actually Dogecoin. So Bitcoin and Dogecoin are already in the works to get accepted by Tesla as a method of payment. It's just a matter of when are they ready, but they are already prepping for it. So those are really good signs. Artful says he just tweeted me, would love my thoughts. Absolutely. Let's move this over here. Check it out. Tech Dev. The top 10 coins in 2013 and 2017. Looks like in 2013, it was Bitcoin, Litecoin, XRP, Peercoin, Namecoin, and some others that no one talks about anymore. And in 2017, we had Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, Litecoin. So, the thing I see is definitely, obviously massive market cap gains. We had 9 billion market cap in 2013 for Bitcoin compared to 258 in 2017. That's insane growth. But the top 5 coins is pretty much the same. So that's cool. Well, really, Bitcoin, XRP, and Litecoin. And then we now have Ethereum up there as well. Let's see. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Don't forget to hit that like button if you have not already. And don't forget also to answer the poll that's in the top of the comments there. We'd love to get your opinion. Let's see. Did I miss any comments here? What's the ex-CEO of Twitter now up to? So let's take a look. Let's actually just take a look before I answer that question. I kind of know the answer, but I would like to demonstrate the answer. So Jack Dorsey, in case you guys did not know, the ex-CEO of Twitter, on November 29th, he went ahead and resigned and left the company. Since then, he's been heavily involved with Square, right? And they decided to rebrand. And so the name Square, the company Square, I'm sure you guys are familiar. There's Square payment systems. You'll see that a lot for mobile like food trucks and smaller businesses that need a platform to accept credit card payments and whatnot. They use Square, and you get those like touchscreen things that you can interact with. Square, they also own Cash App and a few other things. They are rebranding to Block. And then, so that's the new name. Square has changed to Block, and Block is more focused on blockchain related payments. So Jack Dorsey's actually getting pretty heavily into the Bitcoin and crypto space. And as you can see, Jack in his bio, all it says is #Bitcoin. So there's not a whole lot of information, but what I can tell you guys is that Jack Dorsey is now getting heavily involved in the crypto space, even more so than before. So that's really good news. And that means we're probably about to see some really neat stuff from this company regarding blockchain. And they do, they also own, like I said, Cash App, but then Tidal as well, which is actually a really good music service that competes with Spotify. And I actually use Tidal over Spotify now because they provide you with the opportunity to listen to like the master track recordings of songs. You can listen to the highest quality, like studio recording version if you have the bandwidth for it. And so, I mean, we could be seeing Tidal accepting, like you could pay your monthly subscription fee in crypto. There might be more options for sending. In Cash App right now, you can already interact with Bitcoin, but they might be adding Ethereum and Dogecoin to the mix soon, where you can like send those to other people. There's a lot of potential here, especially with the obvious switch to blockchain focused theming here. And that was just a visual whatever you want to call it, interpretation of blockchain that they just showed there with their introduction. It had transactions going into a block, and then it kind of moved down. That was the block number, and now it's getting moved down the line. So that's pretty cool. What else did I miss? Thoughts on BTT? I always forget what BTT is. Oh, BitTorrent. It's a decentralized file sharing protocol. How did they make that into crypto? I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, highly controversial, might run into regulatory obstacles. I don't know. There's a lot of competition in the decentralized file sharing space here. So I'm actually going to have to do some more research on BitTorrent and see how it compares to a lot of the competition, because there's a lot of coins right now that are in that decentralized storage space. So I don't know if BTT is the move compared to the others. The thing about BitTorrent is it's so old that I just don't know if people will get excited about that these days. XRP Angel, what's up? Says Doge XRP, please. Yeah, so what we basically just talked about is Dogecoin and XRP are really the leading coins right now still, even with the market sell-offs, and even though Dogecoin fell out of the top 10, they're still right here at the top of the coins that are listed, the highest value projects in the retail coin space, except for Bitcoin. You've got Bitcoin, you've got XRP, then you've got Doge. XRP is going to be the corporate-focused payment option with competition in XLM, which is kind of its direct competition. And then Dogecoin's the retail-focused payment system. Yes, XRP and XLM can take a little bit of that market share since they kind of all are doing the same thing. But Dogecoin has the advantage of the community. Dogecoin has the advantage of having the name, the household name, the friendly vibe, the inviting theme, you know what I mean? And just being the retail-focused coin that's easily acceptable that everybody knows about. I do have really high hopes for both of these. I think XRP is really going to take off once its regulatory issues get figured out, which they said should be next year. XRP, sky's the limit. And Dogecoin, I think, can pretty much 10x by the end of next year. But I think short term, if we're talking by Q1 or Q2 2022, that Dogecoin can be about 5x what it is right now. So That's my short-term predictions. Anyway, guys, I don't want to make the stream too long. I think we answered a good amount of questions for today. We've been running for about an hour, so thank you all for hanging out today. If you have any more questions, please remember those questions, write them down, and load us up on the next stream, which should be on Friday, as long as we get some decent market movement to cover. And I would love to hear from you guys then. Don't forget, subscribe.